Thanks for checking out my video. This topic today, we're going to talk about how to grow your plumbing business. I'm super excited on all the topics around growth. I have some really great things to go over with you, and I'm excited to share some great tips on how to grow your plumbing business. Growing your business is one of my, it's what I do. You know, one of the biggest things that's helped me be successful in growing my business, we've grown from a small bedroom to almost 100 employees now, to a business doing absolutely nothing in sales to doing multi-millions of dollars a year. You know, one of the biggest things that's helped, myself get there and our company get there is having processes in place. It's all about process and systems. And without it, it's super hard to grow your business. Even if you got all the business in the world that you wanted, if you don't have the processes and the right people and systems in place, you're never going to be able to book that business and you're going to fail. Before you run and grow and just worry about bringing in customers, yes, you need customers and you have to have customers in order to make money and bring the revenue in, but you also have to have the processes in place. So before you run in the wrong areas, I'd say if you don't have the right processes and systems in place, focus on putting that in place first. A book that really helped me with it, and I'd love for you to read, which I know would really help you, this benefited our business tremendously, is The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. I'll put a link in the video later. This book is it's great. You definitely have to read this book. And once you read this book, everything I'm saying here will make a lot more sense and it'll be more clear. I'm sure you've heard it before about processes and systems, but until you read this book, it really breaks it down and what that means. You know, a lot of times in the contracting world, people get started, they break away from someone they worked with, or it's a trade that they learned from that got passed down to them in the family. And a lot of times in the contracting world, most people, and in a lot of industries, not just the contracting trade world, but a lot of people just don't ever focus on building their business and working on their business and putting processes and systems in place. What do I mean by that? You know, are you still running around answering the phone, doing the schedules, doing the payroll, doing the accounting, doing everything? Well, if you are, you're working in your business and not on it, and you're an operator, you really own a job, you don't own a business. By putting processes and systems in place, it'll help you make that transition from operator to owner, which is a game changer, and that's really where you're going to have your real growth. If you don't put those processes and systems in place and you're trying to do it all, you're never going to really have the growth that you want. What do I mean by that? Imagine in your business the phone ringing, jobs getting scheduled and completed and collected and paid on without you ever talking to a customer. You may think that that's crazy and impossible where you are today, but it is possible. But it all starts with putting focus in the right areas. So once you have the right processes in place, there's a lot of different ways that you can grow. Obviously there's marketing, but typically I find in the plumbing industry, a lot of people never focus on having a really nice website, getting customer reviews. It's really something to look at and consider, and you may have heard of it and it sounds so simple or silly, but you'd be surprised how many people aren't on there, and all of your customers are going to these places to look there. So it definitely starts with putting some sort of a website in place and getting reviews in place to give people the confidence to pick up the phone and call you. Besides that, you can do some marketing and different things and spend money on Angie's List or on Google to drive traffic to your website and get the additional business that you want. Also, some plumbers only focus on certain things. Do you do a number of different things? Do you only focus in one area? Is moving into the commercial space, is that profitable? Will that help book bigger jobs and make more money? Or having a commercial division, is something like that helpful? Some plumbers do great in the new construction space and in the commercial space, and that's where their core focus is, and they do pretty decent sized jobs and have built relationships with different builders. And some focus on repair and maintenance and crank it out and have service contracts and different things that they do that are really high margin that they do great in. So, or maybe there's some different areas that you should look at or consider that you're focused on now that aren't profitable. So if you haven't been running your business like a business owner and have been more the operator and just running it like a job, it's definitely time to read that book, The E-Myth, and make that transition. Look over your business. What are the areas right now that I'm talking about that you're still doing? And who can you put in place? Who can you hire to do these things? Do you have a back office or receptionist and someone that can schedule things, answer the phone, book jobs, and help you do more? Like keeping your eye focused on bringing in additional work and revenue versus doing all the back office stuff. Now, a lot of plumbers argue, I do all that stuff, I don't want to take on the salary and expense. And a lot of business owners I see in a lot of businesses in a lot of different industries get so focused on the expense of bringing someone on and caught up in the expense of it versus if I bring this person on, how much more business can I go and do? And I know it's scary in the beginning if taking on some additional set salaries, and I've been there, and it can be really frustrating worrying about that payroll. But what's always helped me in my business is always focusing on the opportunity and never focusing on the expense. I always looked at, wow, if I can put this person in place and do more, what does that look like? So what areas can you do? What areas can you look at in your business right now? Write down some areas where if you brought in a person to do this, this, and this, what would that look like for you? Are you still answering the phone? Are you still doing the payroll? Are you still, collecting all the invoices? It's time to make a change and transition over to the business owner side. So it leads me to my second tip is, in order to do a lot of these things, you're gonna need capital. You're gonna need capital to buy, maybe it's more trucks and vans, maybe it's more equipment and tools, maybe it's to hire and staff up, maybe it's to do some advertising, like I mentioned before, on Angie's List, or build your website. Maybe it's time to update your website and improve it. Over the years, we've been able to help businesses all across the country obtain $1 billion in financing across thousands of different industries. But we've also helped thousands of contractors, and a big portion of those people in the plumbing and HVAC business. I'd love to help you grow your business. If you'd like to learn more, please check out the link below, and we'd love to help you get growing. Thanks for tuning in. Talk soon.